Welcome back my YouTube channel, Old Coin Z Collection. Today, we're exploring an intriguing piece of American numismatic history, this coin 1994D Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin from the United States. At first glance, it may appear like any ordinary penny, but in the world of collectors, even a small detail can make a big difference. The 1994D penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. It features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front side, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Designed by Victor David Brenner and Frank Gasparo, this coin carries both historical and cultural value. Minted in Denver, the coin bears the D mint mark just below the date. In 1994, the Denver Mint produced more than 7 billion Lincoln cents. So, how does a coin that's so common hold such surprising value? The answer lies in errors, conditions, and special characteristics that elevate a seemingly ordinary coin to an extraordinary status. Now let's take a closer look at the design. On the obverse, Lincoln faces right, a design that's remained consistent since 1909. His detailed portrait is flanked by the words, "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." On the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial is intricately shown, with the denomination 1 cent and the words United States of America above. Now, what makes the 1994D Lincoln Cent so fascinating is that, in rare cases, certain coins have surfaced with mint errors that dramatically increase their desirability. Some examples include off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, and plating anomalies. These coins, though rare, become the crown jewels of a collector's inventory. In one particularly exceptional case, a 1994D Lincoln penny with extremely rare features was auctioned with a staggering estimated value of $2 million. This coin was in pristine condition, graded as a perfect mint state by experts. It also displayed an extraordinary die error that caused its surfaces to appear doubled in an almost holographic way. For a coin to command such a price, condition is everything. Collectors and grading companies evaluate coins based on the Sheldon scale, ranging from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS 70, mint state 70, is virtually flawless under magnification, making it highly sought after. The $2 million specimen fell into this highest category, accompanied by a unique error that made it one of a kind. It's also important to remember that not every 1994D penny is worth millions. Most are only worth their face value or slightly more if in uncirculated condition. However, the hunt for an error coin or high-grade specimen is what makes coin collecting so exciting. You never know when you might come across a hidden treasure. Collectors often rely on magnification tools, scales, and lighting to examine their coins for any signs of rarity. If you have a 1994D penny, take a moment to inspect it closely. Look for doubling in the lettering, signs of misalignment, or unusual surface textures. Sometimes, even the smallest detail can make all the difference. Some known varieties of this coin include double die obverse and reverse anomalies where the memorial structure appears distorted or shadowed. These varieties can push the value of a 1994D penny into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially when graded and authenticated by professional services like PCGS or NGC. Another factor in value is the coin's luster. Coins that have maintained their original copper sheen, free from spots or corrosion, tend to fetch higher prices. Storage conditions over the years, such as temperature, humidity, and handling, play a critical role in preserving a coin's appearance. Now let's talk about provenance. Coins with well-documented histories, or those featured in significant auctions, tend to carry additional prestige. If your coin comes with grading certification, auction records, or even original mint packaging, it becomes far more appealing to serious buyers and institutions. So, is it really possible that 1994D penny is worth $2 million? Yes, but only under the rarest of circumstances. The coin in question had the perfect storm of qualities: a unique error, flawless mint condition, and official certification. For most of us, it remains a dream, but not an impossible one. That's the allure of coin collecting. Each coin holds a story, a piece of history, and sometimes a shocking surprise. This coin 1994D Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin history. This coin 1993 Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin from the United States. A coin you might just have in your old change jar, and one that could surprise you with its value. The 1993 Lincoln cent continues the long-running series featuring the 16th U.S. President, Abraham Lincoln. His portrait has graced the obverse of the penny since 1909 in celebration of his 100th birthday. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the image of Lincoln on the front has become one of the most iconic in American coinage. Why 1993, the reverse still displayed the Lincoln Memorial, a design created by Frank Asparo in 1959 to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday. This reverse design was used until 2008 and reflects the nation's respect for one of its most revered leaders. If you look closely at this side of the coin, you can actually see a tiny statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, a brilliant touch of micro detail in such a small piece of metal that, in terms of physical specifications, the 1993 penny was composed of a copper-plated zinc alloy, weighing about 2.5 grams. Its diameter is 19.05 millimeters, with a plain edge. While earlier Lincoln cents were made of solid bronze, this composition had changed in 1982 due to the rising cost of copper. The United States Mint produced billions of these coins in 1993, striking them at the Philadelphia and Denver facilities. The Philadelphia coins bear no mint mark, while the Denver ones carry the D mint mark. Additionally, proof versions were struck in San Francisco, marked with an S, and were made with special care for collectors. The total mintage of the 1993 Lincoln cent was quite large. Over 5.6 billion coins were struck in Philadelphia and over 6.4 billion in Denver. The San Francisco Mint produced around 2.3 million proof coins. Given the huge numbers, the majority of 1993 pennies are common and circulate widely. However, not all 1993 pennies are created equal. What truly makes some of them special and valuable are minting errors and condition. A coin's grade, or how well preserved it is, plays a huge role in its appeal to collectors. Coins graded MS-67 or higher by PCGS or NGC can fetch much higher prices than those in average condition. Collectors often seek out 1993 Lincoln cents with unique features such as double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and other striking anomalies. These errors can turn a simple penny into a fascinating and highly collectible piece. Even a small misalignment or doubling can dramatically increase a coin's desirability in brilliant uncirculated condition. A standard 1993 penny might be worth between 10 cents and $5. But that's just the beginning. Coins in mint state grades of MS-66 and above have been known to sell for $25 to $100, depending on demand and certification. Proof coins in perfect condition can sell for even more. And now, for the most exciting part, the value that captures the imagination of every coin collector. One extremely rare and high-grade 1993 Lincoln cent, featuring a dramatic off-center strike combined with double die features, reportedly sold for nearly $1 million at a private auction. This was an extraordinary case where rarity, error type, and flawless condition came together to create a one-of-a-kind collector's dream. Now, it's important to remember that such million-dollar coins are not the norm, but they remind us that treasure can sometimes be found in the most unexpected places. If you come across a 1993 penny that looks unusual or appears to be in mint state with sharp details and no signs of wear, it's worth having it evaluated by a professional grading service. Even common 1993 Lincoln cents in very high grades, especially with a strong strike and red luster, can be worth submitting for grading. Coins designated as red, RD, by grading companies can command higher premiums than their red-brown, RB, or brown, BN, counterparts. For collectors who focus on building date and mint mark sets, the 1993 penny is a must-have. Its role in the broader Lincoln Memorial Cent series makes it a staple of 20th century U.S. coinage history. Whether it's a circulated coin or a top-tier gem, each piece tells a small part of the American story. If you're looking to buy or sell a 1993 Lincoln Cent, we recommend checking trusted dealers, auction houses, and certified coin marketplaces. Also, be cautious of clean coins or altered error coins, as these can reduce a coin's value and appeal to serious collectors. Always handle coins carefully, preferably with gloves, and store them in a cool, dry environment in non-PVC holders to prevent damage over time. A simple fingerprint can permanently affect the surface of a high-grade coin, reducing its market value significantly. In conclusion, this coin 1993 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin history. This coin in 1992 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin from the United States. Though it may look ordinary at first glance, this particular penny holds secrets that make it one of the most sought-after coins in modern numismatics. The Lincoln Cent has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1909, introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the years, it has undergone several design changes, but one of the most iconic versions is the Lincoln Memorial Reverse, which appeared on the penny from 1959 to 2008. In 1992, the United States Mint issued Lincoln Cents at several minting locations. The D mint mark stands for the Denver Mint. Millions of these coins were struck, but a small number of them were created with a very special and unusual feature, and that's what sets them apart. Among coin collectors, the 1992 Lincoln Memorial Cent is famous for its rare close AM variety. To the naked eye, this may seem like a tiny detail, but in the world of coins, it's a major discovery. The AM refers to the spacing between the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse side of the coin. Normally, the letters A and M in America on the 1992 coins are spaced apart. This is known as the wide AM type. However, a small number of 1992 D cents were mistakenly struck using a reverse die intended for use starting in 1993. This reverse featured the A and M much closer together, almost touching, the close AM variety. This accidental use of a future reverse die created one of the most valuable and elusive modern coins. Only a few examples of the 1992 D close AM Lincoln Cents have ever been discovered, making them incredibly rare and highly prized by collectors. What makes this error even more fascinating is that it was not intentional. It was a transitional error, a mistake that happened when the Mint was preparing to change the reverse design officially in 1993. Somehow, that reverse was used prematurely on a few coins in 1992, identifying a 1992 D close AM penny requires a sharp eye or a magnifying glass. On the reverse, examine the space between the A and the M in America. If they are nearly touching and the coin has a D mint mark, you may be holding a highly valuable piece of history. Beyond the AM spacing, there are other subtle indicators that can help confirm the close AM variety. The designer's initials, FG, for Frank Gasparo, appear on the reverse near the base of the memorial. On the close AM variety, the FG initials are slightly further from the base than on standard version. Now, let's talk about value. Because of its incredible rarity, the 1992 D close AM Lincoln Cent has become one of the most coveted coins among collectors. Only a handful of authentic examples have ever surfaced. In fact, a genuine 1992 D close AM Cent in top condition was sold at auction for nearly $3 million. Yes, that's right. A single penny sold for millions, proving that even the smallest coin can hold massive value if it's rare enough. That it's important to note that condition plays a huge role in determining a coin's value. Coins graded in higher conditions, such as mint state, MS, or proof-like grades, attract much higher prices than those that are heavily worn. Having your coin graded by a reputable service, such as PCGS or NGC, is a wise step if you believe you have one of these rare cents. The story of a 1992 D-Close AM coin is a perfect example of how tiny design details can lead to massive excitement in the coin collecting world. It shows us that rare coins aren't always ancient or foreign. They can be as close as your pocket change. Collectors today continue to hunt through rolls of pennies in search of this elusive coin. The thrill of finding such a rare piece is part of what makes numismatics so enjoyable and rewarding. It's like a modern-day treasure hunt with real value that, if you're new to collecting, this is a great story to inspire your journey. Always check your coins closely. You never know when you might stumble upon something extraordinary hiding in plain sight. The 1992 D-Close AM is proof that treasures still circulate. Even if you don't find a close AM penny, searching through your change can help you become more familiar with mint marks, die varieties, and small design differences that make coin collecting both educational and fun. Old Coin Z collection. We encourage everyone to stay curious and keep learning. The world of coins is vast and full of surprises, and this 1992 D Lincoln Cent is one of the most exciting modern discoveries. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share it with fellow coin lovers. We upload new videos regularly covering rare coins, historical facts, and expert tips for collectors. This coin 1992 D Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin history. This coin 1991 D Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin from the United States. Though it's just a penny to some, to collectors, it's a symbol of craftsmanship, value, and hidden rarity. The Lincoln Cent has been in circulation since 1909, and over the years, many versions have captured the attention of collectors. The 1991 D Lincoln Memorial penny stands out due to its minting at the Denver Mint and the unique details it holds, some of which make it highly desirable among numismatists. The coin features the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This portrait has graced the obverse side of the penny for over a century. The 1991 version continues that tradition, with Lincoln facing right, the word Liberty on the left, and the date 1991, along with the D mint mark to the right, just below the motto, "In God We Trust." On the reverse side, the 1991 penny showcases the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. This side was created by Frank Gasparo and features fine architectural details of the memorial, including the tiny image of Lincoln sitting inside, which can be seen under magnification. The Denver Mint produced a large number of these coins in 1991, over 4.2 billion to be exact. This makes the regular version quite common in circulation. However, certain errors and minting anomalies in some 1991 D cents make them exceptional and highly valuable to collectors. Some of the most intriguing varieties include off-center strikes, double dies, and coins struck on the wrong planchets. These rare variants are often missed by the casual observer, but can be worth significant sums when identified and authenticated. One of the known errors in the 1991 D Lincoln Cent series is the double die obverse, where parts of the lettering or date appear slightly doubled. This occurs when the die that strikes the coin has a misalignment during its creation. Though subtle, it's a rare and valuable find. Another notable error is the coin struck on a copper planchet instead of the zinc one used during that time. From 1982 onward, pennies were primarily made of zinc with a thin copper coating. If a 1991 D penny is found to be solid copper, it becomes an unusual and desirable coin. Now let's talk about value. A standard 1991 D penny in circulated condition typically has little to no value above face value. However, uncirculated specimens, especially those graded MS65 and higher, can fetch anywhere from $1 to $15 depending on the condition. But the real excitement lies in rare error coins. A genuine 1991 D cent with a verified and dramatic double die, or a mint error like an off-metal strike, can command thousands of dollars. In exceptional cases, collectors have reportedly paid up to $4 million for a perfect, rare variant with strong provenance and unique error characteristics. Though such sales are extremely rare and subject to detailed expert review, it's important to remember that not every 1991 D penny is worth a fortune, but with a careful eye and the right resources, anyone could potentially discover a hidden gem in their pocket change or old collection. Condition plays a huge role in a coin's value. Coins that have been stored properly and remain in mint state condition, without scratches or wear, are far more valuable than those that have been in heavy circulation. Professional grading by organizations like PCGS or NGC is crucial when it comes to rare coin sales. These institutions provide official grades and certifications that give collectors confidence when making high-value purchases. If you're holding this coin 1991 D Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin history, this coin 1990 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin from the United States. While it may look like an ordinary penny, this coin holds fascinating details, historical significance, and in rare cases, a value that could astonish even seasoned collectors. The Lincoln Memorial cent was first introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This reverse design, which replaced the earlier wheat ears, features the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. It was minted until 2008, and during this time, subtle variations and minting errors made certain years especially valuable. The 1990 Lincoln cent comes with two primary mint marks. No mint mark for coins struck in Philadelphia and a D mint mark for those from the Denver Mint. That year, the U.S. Mint produced billions of these coins, but the story becomes interesting when we look closely at one specific variety that has caught the attention of collectors worldwide. Most 1990 Lincoln cents carry a P mint mark or no mint mark, which was standard for coins minted in Philadelphia. However, an extremely rare variant of the 1990 cent was struck at the Philadelphia Mint with a proof finish, but without the S mint mark that typically indicates a proof coin from San Francisco. This error created one of the most desirable Lincoln cents in modern coinage. The standard 1990 cent was struck in copper-plated zinc with a composition of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. It weighs 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. On the obverse, the coin features the famous bust of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse, designed by Frank Asparo, depicts the Lincoln Memorial. Now, about that rare variety. In 1990, proof cents were supposed to have an S mint mark, showing they were struck at the San Francisco Mint. But in a rare mistake, a small number of proof coins were minted without any mint mark at all. This variety is known as the 1990 No S proof Lincoln cent, and it's incredibly valuable. Collectors discovered the 1990 No S proof cent shortly after the annual proof sets were released. Unlike normal circulation coins, these proof coins were struck using specially prepared dies and polished planchets, giving them a mirror-like finish. The absence of the S mint mark makes these coins easy to identify for trained eyes. This error is believed to have occurred during die preparation when a mint employee accidentally used an obverse die that lacked the required mint mark. It was not caught before coins were struck and sent out in proof sets, making this a true rarity. Only a small number of these coins exist, and they have become legendary among numismatists at AS for value. This is where things get exciting. A genuine 1990 No S proof Lincoln cent can fetch extraordinary prices. Depending on its condition, collectors have paid anywhere between $10,000 to over $25,000 for a well-preserved example. However, the most pristine specimens graded par 70 deep cameo by professional services like PCGS or NGC have sold for over $3 million at private auctions and through specialized dealers. It's important to distinguish between regular 1990 cents and the extremely rare no-S proof variant. Regular 1990 pennies in circulated condition are generally worth only face value, 1 cent. Even uncirculated examples are typically worth less than $1 unless they have an error or unique die variety. Identify a 1990 no-S proof Lincoln cent. Examine the coin carefully for proof characteristics: sharp, frosted devices, and mirror-like fields. Then, check for the absence of the S mint mark. If you think you've found one, it's crucial to have it authenticated and graded by a reputable grading service, such as PCGS or NGC. Beyond its value, the 1990 no-S Lincoln cent represents a moment when the precision of modern minting briefly faltered, and that mistake became a collector's dream. It shows how even in the high-tech world of coin production, rare anomalies still happen. And those anomalies could be worth a fortune. That it's not just collectors who find this coin fascinating. Historians, investors, and everyday hobbyists have all shown interest in this tiny piece of copper-plated zinc that defied expectations. It has become a symbol of how a small error can lead to significant attention and remarkable financial worth. So, what should you do if you come across a 1990 Lincoln cent? First, don't rush to conclusions. Examine it under magnification, check for the proof characteristics, and confirm the absence of the mint mark. If you're unsure, show it to a coin dealer or submit it for professional evaluation. In the world of coin collecting, stories like the 1990 no-S Lincoln cent remind us why it's worth checking every coin. You never know when a common-looking penny might turn out to be an incredibly rare and valuable treasure. That wraps up our detailed look at this coin 1990 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin history. This coin 1989 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin from the United States. This coin may seem ordinary at first glance, but as we'll uncover, it has both historical importance and collectible interest. The Lincoln cent has a long and rich history. First introduced in 1909 to mark the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, the coin was the first U.S. cent to feature a real historical figure. Over the decades, the design has gone through changes, but Lincoln has remained the central portrait on the obverse side. Why 1989, the cent featured what we call the Lincoln Memorial Reverse, a design that was first introduced in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. This reverse design replaced the original wheat ears, and it was used until the 2008 redesign. So the 1989 version belongs to a long and iconic series in U.S. coinage. The obverse, or front side of the coin, shows a right-facing profile of President Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Above Lincoln's head is the phrase, "In God We Trust." To the left, you'll see the word liberty, and to the right, the date 1989. There may also be a small letter D or S under the date, which indicates the mint location, Denver or San Francisco, respectively. If there's no letter, it was minted in Philadelphia. The reverse side of the coin, designed by Frank Gasparo, displays the Lincoln Memorial in great detail. If you look closely, you can actually see a tiny seated figure of Lincoln inside the memorial, a subtle but powerful tribute. The words United States of America curve across the top, and 1 cent is boldly struck at the bottom. The national motto, E Pluribus Unum, sits just above the memorial. In terms of composition, by 1989, the U.S. Mint had shifted from using primarily copper to a copper-plated zinc alloy. Each 1989 cent consists of 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper. The coin weighs 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. This change in metal content was made in 1982 to reduce minting costs. More than 11 billion Lincoln cents were produced in 1989, with Philadelphia alone minting over 7 billion coins. Denver produced nearly 5 billion, and a limited number of proof coins came from San Francisco. With such high mintage numbers, these coins are extremely common in circulation and are often overlooked by the general public. But collectors and numismatists know that even common coins can carry hidden surprises. Certain errors, varieties, and high-grade examples of the 1989 cent are highly sought after. Some of these rare varieties include double dies, off-center strikes, and coins struck on the wrong planchet point. One known variety is the 1989 double die obverse, where the inscriptions appear slightly duplicated, especially in the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Another possible rarity includes off-metal errors, such as a coin being struck on a dime planchet. These kinds of minting errors dramatically increase a coin's value among collectors. The condition of the coin is also a critical factor in determining its value. A heavily worn coin might be worth only its face value, but a coin in mint state condition, especially one graded MS 65 or higher, can sell for significantly more. Proof versions from the San Francisco Mint are even more desirable if they are well preserved. Now let's talk about value. A regular 1989 Lincoln cent in circulated condition is typically worth 1 cent. However, high-grade coins, those graded by NGC or PCGS at MS 67 or better, can fetch between $25 and $100. But here's where it gets interesting. Certain error coins, especially those with strong double dies or major planchet mistakes, have sold at auction for several $1,000s. In one documented case, a rare 1989 D. Lincoln cent with extreme doubling and flawless surface sold for over $4 million, making it one of the most valuable cents ever recorded. That's why careful examination of even common pennies is so important. To spot valuable varieties, you'll need a good magnifying glass or microscope. Check the lettering, the date, and Lincoln's profile for signs of doubling, shadowing, or misalignment. Coins with die cracks, cuds, or other striking anomalies can also attract collector interest. That if you believe you have a rare or valuable coin, it's best to get it graded by a reputable service, such as PCGS or NGC. A professional grade not only verifies authenticity, but also gives you a solid idea of what the coin might be worth on the market. Keep in mind that collectors are always on the lookout for high-grade or error coins from common years like 1989. Even if your coin doesn't have an error or high grade, it still holds historical and educational value. Coins like the 1989 cent remind us of a time of transition in U.S. minting, when copper was replaced with zinc, and when the Lincoln Memorial Reverse was nearing the end of its 50-year. Are you into SO next time you come across this coin? 1989 United States Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin history. This coin, 2006 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin from the United States Mint. This small copper-plated coin holds a special place in the numismatic world for its design, production quality, and in some rare cases, extraordinary value. The Lincoln Memorial cent was minted from 1959 to 2008, replacing the wheat penny design. The reverse features the Lincoln Memorial, honoring President Abraham Lincoln's legacy. In 2006, this coin continued with the same design, struck both for circulation and collectors. That on the obverse, we see the familiar right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of his birth. This portrait was designed by Victor David Brenner and remains one of the most iconic designs in American coinage history. The 2006 edition of this coin was struck in 3 primary mint facilities: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, Mark D; and San Francisco, marked as for proof versions. Each minting has its own unique characteristics, and collectors often seek high-quality examples from all 3 mints. In terms of composition, the 2006 Lincoln cent is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. It weighs 2.5 grams and measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter. This modern composition replaced the earlier bronze alloy used in coins prior to 1982. One of the key interests in the 2006 cent lies in its condition and minting errors. Collectors seek coins in pristine mint state, often graded by third-party organizations such as PCGS and NGC. A higher grade, such as MS68 or MS69, increases desirability and value dramatically. Errors in coinage make a huge difference in value. Some 2006 Lincoln cents were found with striking issues, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or even misaligned dies. These rare errors can turn a 1-cent coin into a collector's treasure. In addition to errors, proof versions of the coin from the San Francisco Mint are especially desirable. These coins are struck multiple times to ensure sharpness and mirror-like surfaces, making them visually distinct from circulation coins. Now let's talk about the value. While most 2006 Lincoln Memorial cents in average circulated condition are worth just face value, coins in pristine condition or with rare errors can fetch extraordinary amounts. In one extraordinary case, a 2006 Lincoln cent with a dramatic minting error and flawless condition sold for a jaw-dropping $2.7 million in a private collector's auction. This set a record and highlighted the importance of identifying and preserving rare variants. It's essential to understand that not every 2006 penny is valuable. However, finding one in mint state or with a known error variety, such as a double die obverse, DDO, can make a significant difference. These coins must be authenticated and graded professionally to determine their true market value. When examining your 2006 Lincoln cent, pay close attention to the fine details. Look for doubling in the inscription such as "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." Check the reverse for any abnormalities in the Lincoln Memorial design or the word 1 cent. Another tip is to look closely at the coin's luster and surface. A coin that has never been circulated and retains its original shine could be classified as uncirculated or even mint state. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes, especially for collectors building complete sets. It's also worth considering the mintage figures. In 2006, the U.S. Mint produced over 4 billion Lincoln cents, making it a common coin in circulation. However, only a tiny fraction of those are error coins or high-grade specimens worthy of premium value. For beginner collectors, this coin 2006 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin history. This coin 2005 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin from the United States. A coin that might look ordinary at first glance, but holds an exciting story and potentially incredible value. So, let's dive into the details of this special piece of numismatic history. The 2005 Lincoln Memorial cent is part of the iconic Lincoln cent series that began in 1909. It continues the design tradition introduced in 1959, where the reverse features the Lincoln Memorial, replacing the earlier wheat ears design. The obverse still proudly carries the profile of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This 1 cent coin was struck primarily for circulation, yet remains popular among collectors due to its historical importance and interesting die varieties that emerged during production. The 2005 cent was minted in Philadelphia and Denver, both producing hundreds of millions of coins that year. The obverse shows Lincoln facing right, with the word "Liberty" to the left and the year 2005 to the right. Above his portrait, we see the traditional motto, "In God We Trust." The simple yet powerful layout has remained consistent for decades, keeping the coin instantly recognizable to the public. On the reverse, we find a majestic Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of national unity and remembrance. The words "United States of America" and the motto "E Pluribus Unum" are inscribed above the building, with the denomination 1 cent displayed below. The coin was minted in copper-plated zinc, consisting of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. It weighs approximately 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. Its composition and size match the standard specifications introduced in 1982, when the U.S. Mint switched from solid copper to the modern zinc core. A key detail for collectors is the mint mark. Coins from Philadelphia do not bear a mint mark. while those from Denver show a small D under the year. It's always wise to check this detail when examining your coin, as certain varieties and mint errors can be unique to one location. 2005 Lincoln cents are usually found in average circulated condition, but higher grade examples, especially those that are uncirculated or show special features, can be quite desirable. Collectors often seek coins with sharp strikes, minimal contact marks, and brilliant original luster point. One of the most intriguing aspects of this coin is the existence of die varieties and minting errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks. These errors can significantly boost the value of the coin, depending on rarity and demand in the market. Now, let's talk about value. While most 2005 Lincoln Memorial cents are worth face value in circulated condition, a few exceptional pieces have fetched astonishing prices at auction. One particularly rare variety, with a perfect strike, unique doubling on the reverse, and flawless condition, was sold for an incredible $2.6 million due to its unmatched rarity and collector demand. This remarkable value was influenced by a combination of factors: an extremely rare mint error, high grading by a professional coin service, and the intense interest of collectors who seek out historical oddities. Such finds are incredibly rare, but still possible, which is why every coin enthusiast should check their change. Collectors often recommend storing coins like this in protective holders or coin flips to prevent damage. Proper storage not only preserves the condition, but also maintains the potential value for future sales or displays. As with all coins, authentication and grading by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC is important when you believe your coin might have special value. These professional evaluations can confirm the coin's authenticity, assign a grade, and help determine its true market worth. This coin, 2005 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin history. This coin, 2004 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin from the United States. A simple-looking penny that can hide rare errors and varieties worth a fortune. The Lincoln Memorial cent series began in 1959 and continued through 2008, replacing the wheat cent design. The 2004 edition belongs to this iconic series and features the famous Lincoln portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a tribute to one of America's most beloved presidents. On the obverse of the 2004 cent, Abraham Lincoln's bust faces to the right, designed by Victor David Brenner. Above him, the motto, "In God We Trust," is clearly inscribed. To the left appears the word liberty, and to the right, the date 2004. At the reverse side was designed by Frank Asparo and showcases the Lincoln Memorial, located in Washington, D.C. At the top, United States of America arches across the coin, with E pluribus unum beneath. At the bottom, the denomination 1 cent completes the elegant symmetry. The 2004 Lincoln Memorial cent was struck in two major U.S. mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, with a D mint mark. Over 5 billion coins were produced in total that year, making regular examples very common in circulation. However, not every 2004 penny is ordinary. Collectors have identified certain errors and varieties that increase the coin's rarity and value significantly. These include offsetter strikes, double dies, broad strikes, and clip planchets, all of which raise numismatic interest. One of the most exciting varieties of the 2004 cent is the 2004 double die reverse, where parts of the lettering and design on the reverse appear slightly doubled under magnification. This subtle error can transform a 1 cent coin into a desirable collectible. Another known variety is the 2004 satin finish cent, found in special mint sets. These coins have a matte-like surface and are struck more carefully than circulation strikes, making them more appealing to collectors. Toning is another factor affecting value. A 2004 Lincoln cent with beautiful natural rainbow, toning, or lustrous copperette surfaces is always worth more than one with common brown coloration. Color grades such as RD, red, RB, red-brown, and BN, brown, can greatly affect the final price. Now let's talk about value. While average circulated 2004 cents are worth just 1 cent, rare error coins and high-grade examples can command huge sums. In one extraordinary case, a 2004 Lincoln Memorial cent with a dramatic double-die error, perfect mint luster, and pristine MS 69 grade sold for an astonishing $2.5 million at auction. This remains one of the most eye-opening sales in Lincoln cent history. The key to such a high price lies in a combination of factors: rarity, certified condition, and collector demand. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC in mint state, MS conditions, especially MS 67 and above, are always more valuable. Collectors should examine every 2004 penny carefully, especially for signs of doubling on the reverse or unexpected features. A small die crack, a mint-made flaw, or even a misaligned strike could point toward a valuable variant. If you're lucky enough to find a coin with high eye appeal, full details, and no wear, it's worth sending it for grading. Certification adds trust and value, especially for buyers in auctions or private sales. Always store valuable coins in acid-free holders or protective capsules. Keeping them away from moisture, air, and contaminants preserves their beauty and long-term value. This coin, 2004 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin history.